Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're working on a Murata. This is an A-Class RV. It's about a 38 footer. Now we have a little bit of fiberglass repair that we're going to be doing on this, and I'm going to show you what I did step by step on how to repair it. Now what you're going to want to do is get your grinder out, and we're going to want to go all the way through to the backside of the crack. You're going to want to make sure you slice it past the point where it's cracking. And as you can see, there's a bunch of spiderweb cracks which didn't go through the surface. We're going to be grinding into those to make sure we can fill them up and fix those too. Now the next step is to over check what you did. Make sure you went through all the way and we ground out all of that crack, making sure we go further than the crack originally went. That way you have no chance of it going out further when you actually repair it. Now we're going to put 3 temporary screws and a piece of wood behind there, and you're going to want to line that piece of wood with blue painter's tape, that way it doesn't stick. The reason why we're doing that is it actually pulls in those corners, allowing it to go level before we put in our fiberglass sheet and resin. And as you can see here, I did my first coat of resin. Now it's going to go on a little rough, and you're not going to be worried about that, or at least I wasn't, because you're going to be grinding this down and then assessing what you need to do if you got to do another sheet of fiberglass. I'm also going to be putting another sheet on the back of the panel, not on the front, because right there is where the crack is. We're going to be trying to get this as level as we can, and on the back side you can get it as level as you want, but for me I'm going to leave a little bit more structural material on the back side of the panel where you're not going to see it. That way we can actually keep some more strength on it too. Now what I'm doing is grinding off the heads of those screws, because honestly I did try to back them out, but you're not going to be able to get them out if the resin went all the way through the hole too and is going to fight you. So right now I am grinding them down, and then we're going to just drill them out and hit the piece of board in the back, which will pull off because we have painter's tape on it. Now I did try one last ditch effort to get these screws off, but of course it didn't work. So we're going to do it the old fashioned way and drill them out. Alright, so I went underneath and started trying to tap it loose with my bodywork hammer while the ladder's getting straightened out a bit so we can fix 2 things at once. As you can see, I finally got the board loose. Blue tape was able to be separated from the board very easily. Now I'm going to fix those holes with some more fiberglass and resin, and we're also going to go on the back side. As you can see, we cut the ladder in the area that was a little bit bent, and we've been massaging it and getting it back to the point where we can then sleeve it. And the actual ladder that we have, I actually tested it. It's not aluminum, and it's also not steel, so it really wasn't worth welding, so we're going to be doing a sleeve over it. Alright, now I'm going to some aggressive grinding down of this resin and fiberglass mixture. So we're going to be making sure that we can grind it down and get it ready for its next coat of resin. You don't have to worry about making this super pretty right now and level. That's going to be on the next step. So just get at it with your grinding wheel. Now make sure you're wearing your PPE, make sure you're protecting your lungs, your eyes, your skin. Make sure anything that you do not want the fiberglass going on is covered and protected. Now once you grind it down to the point where you feel like you can use your orbital sander with 40 grit and start prepping it to level it down a little bit more, then you can go on to that step. We're also going to put some more resin and fiberglass on those holes before we do our fiberglass filler. Now for this step, we're going to be using long strand fiberglass filler to make sure that we can make a strong repair even over that fiberglass and resin mixture, which is the true strength. but we're going to make sure we use that versus short strand filler. Alright, so now we're working on the ladder. As you can see here, it's pretty much as straight as you're going to get it without taking too much time on it. And we're pretty happy with it, so we're going to get ready to sleeve it soon. But this is what it looks like after straightening it out. Now you can use the orbital cutter to make sure that we can clean up the area between where it broke, and this way it can be straightened out even better. Now, this is because the metal where it broke was a little uneven, and this is something that you have to do if you want to be able to play around with that seam, and I wish we could weld it, but since it's bi-metal, it's not going to do it. Alright, as you can see here, I got the first coat of fiberglass long strand filler on there. Now, the disadvantage of long strand fiberglass filler is it doesn't spread easily unless you thin it down, and I didn't want to do that. And it's also 25 degrees out Fahrenheit, so it's not really easily cured. So I'm using a heat gun and some bulbs to kind of cure this panel and keep it at about 50 degrees Fahrenheit to 65 in that realm because I can't get an exact temperature, but just enough for it to cure at a normal rate. Once you get it all spread out nice and evenly, I did not put it on any painted areas. If a little bit got on any painted areas, we're going to be sanding that off anyway. We're not going to be leaving any of that shiny area before we prime in that section. Now remember, about 90% of this is going to be sanded off, so whatever you put on there, make sure you get it as close to level as you can, because you can always put another coat. You're never going to get it all in one coat usually, unless you're like been doing it for like 50 years. And you and your block sander and material are like merged into like one person, so you instantly know what you're doing in the first coat. And to be honest, I'm not at that level yet. I might have 13 years into doing body work, but I have no means as good as some people who have been doing it for like 50 years, and I aim to keep getting there, and there's a lot of great people out there to keep learning from. Alright, so now we're on the back side, and we're going to be putting on a fiberglass patch on the back end to make sure we strengthen it. Alright, so now I'm on the back side. I'm putting on another fiberglass sheet on the back end and applying the resin slowly. I know you can kind of soak the sheet before you put it on there, but with it being 20 degrees Fahrenheit outside and it was above my head, I was trying my best to kind of just smooth the material on there. And I let this stuff dry for a couple hours, and I came back because honestly, it was really cold outside, and I left the heat lamp bulb on there and let it cure it. As you can see here, it cured fine with no issues on both sides, but right now I'm getting at it with 40 grit. Now I will be using a block sander once I'm done with leveling it all out. This is not something you're going to have to do by hand at this very moment. Fiberglass, and especially long strand fiberglass, will not move easily, so use 40 grit. And I wouldn't hold back either. Make sure you're constantly moving around. Do not heat up one section too much too fast. Treat it as if you're heating up metal when you're grinding it down. It's sort of the same thing. I know it's fiberglass, but we're going to just kind of use the same principle and constantly keep moving around. This way it'll help you prevent doing a flat spot in one area, especially since you're not blocking by hand, but you're not going to want to do this by hand like I said. Now I did have to cut the footage. It took a while to get through that because it's very strong. As you can see, we got it pretty flat already with just one coat of long strand filler. We're going to switch over to short strand in about a second, but we're going to put a little bit of long strand in a few of those low spots, and then we're going to go on and, like I said, put on a small coat of short strand. Now you can feel it with your hand, see where the low and the high spots are, where you have to grind down or where you have to add. I'm putting on some guide coat at this point to double check myself besides visually seeing what's going on, and we're going to start blocking it out. I am blocking with 40 grit still, and we're going to switch over to 80 after that, and then we're going to make sure that we go up to 120, 240, and then 320 before we even prime. Now, we are using a block sander because I want to make sure this was even level before we put on our second coat of filler in any of the areas. And the second coat of filler, like I said, is still going to be long strand filler. Especially with this being a fiberglass panel, I want to stick with fiberglass and not even use normal body filler on this panel. Now, never rely on just your eyes. You can use your hands to feel out where the lows or the highs might be. As you can see, the guide code is also going to show you that once you're blocking it out, and you'll see what's even left. Now, take your time with this. This is not one of those things that you can do in like a short time period unless it's something that's really simple, like a small dent, but this is a bigger repair. Now the guide code worked wonders. We're able to see all the low spots still in that panel, and with it only being the first coat of long strand filler on there, and then with the repair on that section, we're gonna pretty much do another coat of long strand filler, and then short strand in a few other locations. As you can tell, it's pretty flat already, but we're gonna get it even better. We don't want to leave any of those highs and lows. Alright, as you can see, we did our skim coat over those areas, and we're going to go on to blocking it out again. Alright, we blocked out those areas, and I just put on the last and third coat of that area, and these are very thin coats. As you can see, you basically could see through it. We blocked it out, and we're going to go on to doing our primer in about a second. Now I'm using a Dimensions urethane sealer, DS69 for. Now I did use this on a couple of other builds. It comes in a few different finish colors, and I used the black one, which is going to be close to what the finish color is going to be, which is black on this back panel. Alright, for primer, it didn't come out that bad, so we're going to block it out one last time and make sure it's ready to go. I'm really happy with the repair so far, especially with black being the hardest color. We're going to get rid of any of the hard lines from where the tape was, making sure that there's nothing in this area because it's going to be blended in when it's shot and painted. Now I'm going to go all the way from 400 grit up to 800, blocking it out slowly by hand and making sure that you can get it all nice and flat. As you can see, the orange peel will be knocked down instantly with the 400, and we're going to step up slowly after that. We're going to make sure we can get this as flat as possible. That way when the base and clear coat go on it, you'll never even know that there was a repair. Now I did put tape up so I didn't go past the point of where I wanted to sand, and you're going to pull that tape off anyway. Alright, this is what it's going to look like after you're done block sanding the whole area. I'm going to check it over for any pinholes or anything using my flow glaze, and then we're going to be done. Now with it being black, it is hard to guide coat the primer to check it, but we're still going to guide coat it one last time and check it over. That way when it does get painted, there's no imperfections that make it through or any highs and lows. Now when it is sprayed, it is going to be sprayed inside a paint booth, so don't worry. And just know that it's not going to be sprayed outside. Alright, we're at the point now where we're going to be drilling out this section to make sure we can line it up and sleeve this old ladder to make sure we could still use it after it was bent, and we re-strained it, but this is how we're going to strengthen it again. We marked out the dead center where the factory mounting holes are, and we're going to drill with a pilot bit, and then we're going to work our way up to drilling it to the size it needs to be. You're going to want to keep stepping up the drill bit until you're at that factory bolt size. The best thing you can do for yourself is get a nice drill bit kit like this, so you don't have to be searching for the sizes you need. Alright, slide the factory hardware back in there with that rubber sleeve with the same factory bolt, and we're going to get that in nice and tight, and we're going to be able to reuse this area once again. And just like that, you're able to save your ladder that was once bent by sleeving it with some EMT from the store, which you can buy a whole length for fairly cheap versus buying a new ladder. You're going to set both sides at the same tightness and start putting in all the factory hardware on all the bolts once again. I recommend using hand tools versus power tools for this so you don't strip anything out. Now the next step is we're going to be adding in 2 separate bolts on both sides. This way it can hold itself on there and keep itself fastened. Now you can use some cutting oil right now if you wanted to, but I was trying to avoid anything going on that fresh primer that was below this. Once you're through, you can step the drill bit up one more size, and we're going to do the same to the bottom. Now I put a rag up just in case, so if it did launch through, I know the drill bit would grab it and throw the cloth everywhere, but we're just trying to avoid it going through and hitting the fresh area behind it with fresh primer. Alright, once you finally get to the size of the bolt of your choice, now just think this is not going to be what's holding it on. That bolt that fastens the ladder to it will be holding it together, but right now this is just an extra for safety. Alright, I know those are tiny, but we are going to be pretty much okay with that. As you can see here, the main bolt is what's going to be bracketing it to the actual frame of the car still, behind that rear fiberglass panel. Alright guys, thanks for staying tuned through that whole repair. If you guys need to do the same thing, I hope you guys can fix your fiberglass repair on your vehicle too. Now remember to like and subscribe to see more videos just like this. I restore classic cars, work on modern ones, and even RVs. I try to release new shorts every week, from memes to really good tips. So also, if you're interested in that, you can see that on my channel too by hitting that subscription button below.